To say I am overwhelmed is a huge understatement. The first thing I did when I stepped on the stage was shake the hands of the musicians. Because this is what I've done in my life for 50 years of playing music and traveling around the world. And when that happens, you learn to understand what it means to be an equal. Because when you're on stage performing, there's no dictator, there's no ruler. Everyone is concerned about performing, so everyone else on the bandstand is comfortable. That is the ultimate of a lifestyle that we need to learn as humans. Being a musician, I learned this at a young age, to play music and to be equal on that stage, because what we're trying to do is produce a feeling and a sound that's moving people. When a group of musicians get together on an equal basis and play music, as you have felt from this incredible band, they have succeeded. And when you succeed to move people, you lift them. I am lifted by today at many levels. And I asked the band, and they had played it every set, the Stevie Wonder song, Overjoyed. I have had incredible joy of my life. But there has also been overjoy. There has been joy that is hard to explain because it's more than joy. It's ecstatic, it's emotional, it is moving, it is inspiring, it is to inspire people to aspire. Inspiration is when you motivate someone. Aspiration is when you motivate that person to motivate themselves, to inspire people to aspire. That has been the power of music, and that has been my traveling around this globe to 60 countries. So it's been an amazing journey because I've learned a lot about myself, I've learned a lot about people, and by traveling I've learned a lot about culture and how people live, and that we are all so equal at any part of the planet. That I have had students that have flown here from Germany, Slovakia, Scotland, the UK, Brazil, Italy, Canada. This is mind-boggling that because of Sabian, who put the wind beneath my wings to allow me to hit the world and do what I do to try to lift people and inspire them, is incredible. Well, what I have seen in my students as they perform is they now have aspired. They're now motivating themselves to go to the next level of playing music in their countries as they travel around the world. And I tell all the musicians that are here, as a young child, I was very shy. I had a tremendous stammering problem. My eyes have always been terrible. So the challenges as a child was difficult. I've got two very strong, powerful brothers that are above me and a powerful young sister who have personalities that are just to, inspire you at great levels. So I had to learn to push myself to overcome my challenges. So I tell all of the drummers that are here, the great things that you're doing, as I push myself, I dare you to do better. That has to be the energy that you have to push yourself, to continue to push yourself, because then you will reach more people, and as you reach more people, you will inspire them to aspire, and then you will experience overjoy. That really is where the magic is. When I think of just my family, my wife Charmaine, who is absolutely incredible. When I said to Charmaine, this might be my last hurrah with this formidable disease that I have. I said, so maybe we can have a little party. Charmaine leaned into me and said, oh, we're going to have a party. It's not going to be little. She made this happen. My brother Peter and Joyce, my three boys, Dominic, Juliana, Jonathan, his newly engaged girlfriend, Aubrey here. Maxwell and Tess, these have been people that have literally, these past year and a half, been my crutch to hold me up literally as it's gone along. And when I think of what Sabian is doing now to carry on the message with the mentorship, under scholarship, under the symbol that they're producing. This hopefully will allow my legacy that when someone sees that symbol and hits that symbol, they are motivated to inspire themselves, to inspire and aspire others. That's really what it's about. That's the power of music. The symbol is just a piece of metal, but it's what you put behind it and where you place it that lifts the sound of the music. The fact that Andy is here, Sally is here, this incredible team with their children, Mark Love, Stacy Montgomery Clark, the fact that they made the trip from Meductic, New Brunswick. Understand where Meductic, New Brunswick is. It's in the corner of the world. When you find a corner of the world, go to the corner. It's a beautiful place, and I think of the memories of their parents, Bob and Willie, who by working with them 35 years ago and seeing the vision that they had for this symbol being produced that is going to raise the standard of music for drummers, they did that and carried that vision, but equally was that of education. So let's inspire the next generation. And they are continuing to do that through their leadership of what they have now. That is absolutely incredible. I thank you so much. Now I've got a drumstick manufacturer, Alan Vader, who is a brilliant mind who understands how to produce wood. You know, this stick in your hand is the tool that you're using to play the drums. So you need the measurements and the facility of this tool to be in your hand so comfortable that when you're playing, you're able to express what you feel from the depth of your soul. Alan gets that. He gets that and he understands how to produce the product at a place that once you put it in your hand, you feel so comfortable that your desire to play is lifted. He did that, and then producing the sticks that he made as a commemorative for you all to take home, where he was able to put my signature, my face, and then a line that I've used in every email I've ever sent since I learned how to use freaking email. I put in onward and upward. Because what does that mean, onward and upward? It is again the theme of to inspire people to aspire. All of my life, I've rehearsed for nothing. With bands, we had to work on tunes, but I always believed that to a certain degree, rehearsal is for cowards. Because when a musician comes on the stage, sometimes we don't know where we're going. And part of not knowing where we're going is the magic of being able to lift people. Because you don't know where you're going, you're trusting your other member on that stage as a brother, like a band of brothers like they had it during World War II. It becomes a band of brothers that we perform together to go on there too. To hear Christine Ullman sing, she's been on Saturday Night Live for the past 20 plus years singing on Saturday Night Live. The fact that she came down from Connecticut to entertain us is absolutely inspiring. Christine, thank you so much. All the drummers that are here, Devito plays great, David Garibaldi, Klaus Hessel, all these guys, Christian, to hear you again perform was so inspiring. These were kids that came to me as kids, and I kept on planting the seed that there was a future that you can have in the drumming industry, that you can play and develop a family, be able to have a house, be able to have insurance, and live a life that is a normal life. When I said to my father in the early days, I want to continue playing drums, he looked at me and he said, how are you going to make money? I said, playing drums, and what I love doing. And then my parents, 100%, supported us. My greatest memories of my musical memories, and I've traveled to 60 countries, were playing with Vinnie, Peter, and Anne Marie as a family band for over the thousands of weddings that we played. And we get together on that bandstand as a team to play, and our job was to lift the people at that wedding, inspire them, and celebrate the wedding, create a feeling, that memory that they will have for the rest of their life. And we did that. And we still meet people 30, 40 years later that say, Dom, you played at my wedding, you might not remember, right? Benny, look at this, Benny, wonderful wife.
40 years ago.
40 years ago, we played at your wedding, and they're still married, which is amazing. In our band, we had a high divorce rate, but that's a different story. Getting together, this is my family. You are my family. And having all of you here has lifted me to such a place where, have I been depressed lately? Absolutely. Am I pissed off? Absolutely. But I have found peace with myself in the fact that this is the hand I've been dealt. I'm going to push it as hard as I can. I'm going to fight as much as I can. My dad's last year of his life, he stayed at our house. Charmaine said, she said to me one day, she goes, "We're going to get your dad." I said, "What's going on?" She goes, "He's not taking his medicine right. We're going to get his dad." We hopped in the car, she drove to Baldwin. We got him, he wasn't taking his medicine right. Got in the car, drove him to Port Jeff, and he stayed there with us the last parts of his life. And even though he had dementia, he couldn't remember what he had for breakfast, but he could remember what happened in April 15th, 1945. And he would talk about what it was like being in the service. And one conversation we had, I have a chair home that I got from my grandfather that his father sat on, my great-grandfather. So when the family was breaking up the house and when he had passed away, I took the chair with me. And I have the chair at my home. My father would love to sit on that chair in front of our fireplace and reminisce about World War II. And at one point he told me about hand-to-hand combat, about how at 17 years old he had been trained to learn hand-to-hand combat. Now think of that. 17 years old, he joins the war because of what was going down, and he's now being taught at boot camp a week-long, part of a week of hand-to-hand combat. And he said to me, with the seriousness of his face, what they taught us was kill or be killed. And he was reliving that week of training. It was so deep to hear him talk about that, so vivid in his mind. He's been gone now for many years, as my wonderful mom has been. So when this disease hit me, I realized that now what I'm doing is hand-to-hand combat. I'm fighting the battle. Every day a different battle happens. But by having you all lift me, support me in being there, it's helping me to continue with this freaking fight. I want to thank Joe Brigamini because Joe's been a student of mine for many, many years ago, and has become my partner in our published company. We're involved in many different projects together. And for all the years at Sabian, Bob and Willie from Sabian would always tell me, "Dom, I want you to MC this event. You got to figure out who's giving the speeches, find out the musicians, get their names, talk to all the distributors, make sure you mention their name, make sure you honor this person," and he'd give me a list and he'd go down. And at one point he came to me, and he knew how much he was throwing at me. And he said to me, he said, "I'm throwing a lot at you, right?" And I said to him, "You're not getting soft on me now, are you?" And he laughed hysterically. Dreams are written in pen, but it is my values that are carved in stone. That I learned from my parents, service to people, be kind, welcome everybody. Our rehearsals at our home could have been like the UN. Anybody, any race, religion, creed, whatever you were, you came in. If you played music, you were an equal in our eyes. And my mother would always cook and serve us food after rehearsal, which is why we always rehearsed at our house. And with benefits. So I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I thank you all because of the effort of making the trip and how people came from faraway areas to come by here just to, I mentioned to Charmaine, if I could just have a moment to see everyone and give them a hug, that will be a memory that will last me for however much time I have left. And I'm thankful for it. And I leave you with the fact that I am really overjoyed. Thank you so much.